there needs to be a song about
Making
investment.
money.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you have a couple of saving accounts essentially. You've done the standing order thing that you had not done X years before. When does Over25 come in?
Over25 comes in when
In
it
those
goes
4
black.
years?
When it went black,
Yeah, in that 4-year period.
2 weeks into the company.
Oh, 2 weeks into the company.
Remember, I had a meeting with my
Yeah.
boss, and he's like, exactly. And when he said exactly, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I should have stayed in London. I should have stayed in London. And now Theresa May has brought in this bloody Brexit.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So I was sitting at my desk, and I'm just like, don't resign, don't resign, don't resign, don't resign,
Yeah.
don't resign, don't resign. And I'm like, I can't make money as an artist. And unfortunately, I'm accustomed to nice things,
Yeah.
you know, like deodorant and white toilet paper. And I don't want to be broke again
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I can't afford that, or I'm
Yeah.
stealing my mom's deo because I don't have enough money. I don't want to go through that again. So I was like, okay, clearly I love to create. So I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And I'm going to be spending my entire weekends rather than like partying. We shoot on Saturdays and then Sunday I'm editing. I just needed a place to feel like Monday is worth it.
Yeah.
And thus, Over25 was born.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the conversation? Do you call, and I hope I got all the names right, do you call Ivy, Shiki, and Lonzi and be like, hey, this is my idea. I want to do this. Are you guys in? Is like typical conversation? Or do you have it as a group? Do you have it individually?
Yeah. So we have this group on WhatsApp called
Yeah.
that I created when I was a singer. Because WhatsApp groups were new on
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
Yes.
WhatsApp was also new.
Yes.
Gen Zs cannot imagine a world without group
WhatsApp
chat
or texting.
Yeah. So I remember I was singing, and I was like, I'm doing a listening kind of party. Like you can
right.
sit down and like I sing on the microphone. So I created a group. So in that group, my friends were all there. So when I decided to start a YouTube channel, I went into the group and I said, guys, I'm starting a YouTube channel. I want to do it with friends. Please let me know if you're interested. I only want 1 or 2 people max. So I wanted it to be 3 or 2.
Okay.
But I wanted to be in control creatively of that thing.
Yeah.
And so I put it in the group and I said, I'm going to be shooting at my house on Saturday. Whoever is available, come. And so that first Saturday, Shiko and Lonzi came. And Ivy joined us much later. So she asked Shiki, Shiki, ask Jules if I can join this thing you guys are doing.
Yeah.
I think after she saw a few episodes.
Yeah.
Because, Ivy is also very much a creative and she loves being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then we became the 4 of us.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. We went back and forth. So the names, guys, I offered the name Over25 and they were like, oh, that's so, I don't know how to, So they said throwing in names, and I was actually not asking like for permission. And I didn't know how to communicate this, by the way. Over25 has taught me so much. So I just said cheers.
You didn't know how to, this is what
I didn't know how to, in the office I know how to say no.
Yeah.
Say, be a leader.
Yeah.
But with my friends, I didn't know how to, because I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to act like, but I'm like, but this is my shit, y'all. So we're going to call it Over25.
Yeah.
The reason I wanted to call it Over25 is I was so nervous about being online.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why actually I wanted friends. Because I was like, if we're going to be trolled, we'll be trolled all of us, not me alone.
Yeah.
1. 2, we're calling it Over25 because at that point I was 26.
Yeah.
And remember, my entire 20s was a big existential crisis.
Yeah.
Who am I? Why am I here? What am I here to do?
Yeah.
So I was worried the one thing they're going to get on us is that what are these old babes doing online?
Yeah.
So we're going to call it Over25.
So that
it's like, but it's grown-ass conversations up in here.
Yeah.
So you can't, I was getting ahead of the trolling.
Yeah.
I had really seen the full...
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, we're sticking with Over25. I love it. That's what it is.
Looking back now, right? Because I guess for this theme, I want us to discuss a little bit about Over25. Looking back now, the way when you leave a relationship or terminate a relationship, or then you're looking back and you're like, yeah, there was a red flag there, and I ignored it, And that was one of the reasons why we ended up, where we ended up now.
Isn't the
you know?
reason why you break up always the thing that you noticed at the beginning? It's like,
So-
it's always the...
Anyway, so whatever the case, so now I'm asking retrospectively.
It's about to get spicy up in here.
Retrospectively, like looking back now, are there red and anyway, through this conversation we'll contextualize all of this over 25 questions I'm asking. But are there red flags like that you're seeing at this point that you're like, yeah, this is gonna be a problem? And are you conscious about it?
Maybe I can start with mine.
Yeah.
I won't talk about other people's
Yeah.
red flags because I'm not here to talk. Because
Yeah.
they are there. They
Yeah.
were there.
Yeah.
But let me just talk about mine. I wish I was able to communicate my no's better.
Yeah.
I would always push my issues under the carpet because I'm trying to avoid conflict. But those things would end up coming up later. And then it's because I don't have the skill set to, at the time, I didn't have the skill set to resolve conflict with friends.
Yeah.
And conflict will arise when you're working together, whether you like it or not. And by conflict, I mean difference in opinion, or difference in a way of doing things. So yeah, I wish I did that a bit better. I wish we got into a contract at the beginning, a contract that clearly stipulated who did what, and what was their role, and the back ends. Is it the back or the back ends with who?
Yeah.
So for example, when we changed our logo, I remember I had it was just like, oh, there's a graphic designer I know, we have a new logo. What do you guys think? And it's like, I created the name and the logo at the time. I should have been bold enough. What I wanted was that all creative direction ends with me.
Yeah.
I decide what are our colors, what's the look and feel, what's our font. In my mind, that's who I was in
Over
this.
25.
Yes. But I didn't have the balls to say, guys, I want to be the creative director.
Yeah.
And even if you feel a color looks better, it's me who needs to decide.
Yeah.
But other things like finance, which client are we working with? How many reels should we give them? How many stories? Because I would always give too much and then we'd get into a fight. Like, why did you give all this? And I'm like, I didn't know when you have to give exactly 3. It's like, no, we can't. So we'd get into those because we had different ways of working.
Yeah.
So I wish we got into a contract where we're like, this is the creative director, this is finance, this is business development, this is such and such.
Yeah.
So that when somebody says something, it's like, okay, let's respect that we are not going to give more than 4 reels.
Yeah.
Or we are not going to go and now work with another client that is going to cause a conflict of interest. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But we didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know any better, to be honest.
Yeah.
And also we didn't know how to work together.
Yeah.
We knew how to be friends,
Yeah.
but we didn't know how to work together.
Okay. When do you form the company? When do you form the company?
Oh, I can't remember exactly when we formed the company.
How soon after you guys started did you form the company?
I literally have no memory. We were together for 7 years.
Yeah.
So I can't remember.
Just at somewhere.
It was somewhere in there, and I think it was, again, Ivy's director. Ivy was just very good with business stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So, no, I think I was Lorna. Lorna is one was like, we need to form a limited company, something. One of them. I just know it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Me, I was just here for
vibes.
No, I was here for the content.
Sorry. Yes, for the content.
I was here for the content. Yes,
and
the
outlet,
vibes.
your outlet.
Yes.
creatively
In fact, I didn't want anything to do with company. I didn't want anything to do with clients. And I was like, this is what I'm doing in the office.
Yeah.
Now you want me to come here and start doing a pitch deck again?
Yeah. Do you split it 4 ways?
Yes, we had to split 4 ways. It wasn't just 4 ways. We had 60% going back into the company.
No, I'm not even about money. I'm talking about ownership of Over25.
Yes, we split it 4 ways.
Do you feel like that? I mean, looking back now, do you feel like that was fair or fair? And the reason why I'm asking this is based off of how you've sort of narrated the creation, the inception of Over25. It sounds like it was your thing, and yes, you're inviting collaborators to come on board. Do you think you would have you could have asked for
Yes, I would have. And
Yeah.
actually, my dad is the one who pointed it out.
Yeah.
I have no regrets that we did it the way we did it.
Yeah.
And please let me make that very categorical. I don't feel like I was played.
Yeah.
But now, looking back, knowing what I know now,
Yeah.
I wish should have listened to my dad because he kept asking me, so you're the one who's shooting? Yes.
It's at your
You're the
house.
one who's editing? Yes.
Yeah.
We are shooting in our house, in my house. He said,
Yeah.
my house. I remember exactly where we were. We were driving from the
Yeah.
airport
Yeah.
on Outer Ring Road, and he's like trying to understand because now we were in the papers,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, so this thing you guys are doing is
a
a serious thing, eh?"
Yeah.
And so he was trying to understand
Yeah.
the back end of things, and I told him, no, everything is split 4 ways.
Yeah.
And he said, but you're the one who does it, but you're the one who does, and you're the one who does, and he said, and you think that's fair? And I said, Dad, I don't want to argue with my friends. He's like, no, there's a place for friendship and there's a place for business.
Yeah.
And I had him, and he gave me what his recommendation was. He should probably getting a little bit more because even the equipment, I bought it with my own money.
Yeah.
The new camera, the new laptop, to edit now, because before I was editing on my dad's laptop and stuff, So he was seeing me doing these things, but I was just so happy that my friends agreed.
Yeah.
Barack. I was just so happy to be doing this with my friends.
Yeah.
I was happy that they thought my
Idea.
my shit was
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
When I'd edit and they're like, "Oh my God, Jules, good stuff. Thank you so much." Like
Yeah.
it was enough for me.
Yeah.
But looking back, I would have done things differently because over time, I started feeling like I want to say it, but I just didn't have the language. No, I just didn't have the skill set.
Yeah.
I didn't have the skill set. And
Okay.
I was just like, I don't want to beef with my homies. So like, and then you
Yeah.
see, it would always feel like it's 3 against 1.
Yeah.
Because it's me pushing for an agenda that the 3 of them are not a part of.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest fear.
Yeah.
That they would do that.
Yeah.
And so I would end up just saying, yes. Okay.
Then it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I'm sitting here like, how comes when the money has come, I wanted to say, I wish some of this money can be used to pay me back
For the investment you
for
had
the
made at the
investment.
beginning.
And until today, I've never had the balls to say that. Oh no, I think now we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Actually, we did, and I was like, in fact, with Ivy is the one who used to really back me up.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, she really used to be like, you should be animal, you should be doing this, But I'm just like, again, I don't need to be a 3 against 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'll take you to a conversation 2015. I believe it was 2015.
Is it clickbait?
It's not clickbait. I don't know. It has no. It has nothing. No, and it's nothing to do with the public, public whatever. 2015. I founded an agency, talent management agency, and then I left. I think we got your number through. It was either you or Lonnie. I can't remember. But through my brother, and I leave because I'm going to the UK to study. But then 2 of my partners come and meet you guys.
Oh, it wasn't you?
It wasn't me.
You were not the guy?
No, that was my brother.
Oh, your brother is also good looking. I remember he was a good looking guy.
I will. He'll watch this.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I remember just thinking, so it wasn't you? You look
It wasn't
alike,
me.
yeah?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, we are brothers. We look alike. Yeah. His name is James.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was James. And,
Oh, was it? This whole time, Barack,
yeah.
I'm like, we met you and Wamaire.
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Okay. Yours was muscles.
I guess. James,
Never mind.
James, do you have muscles?
Yeah. He was a
Anyway,
He was an attractive boy. I remember.
Anyway, so I was gone, but at that time we were looking for clients. We had been working with a bunch of different people and like trying to help them monetize. And so they come and we have a conversation. Well, the company has a conversation with you guys at I don't remember what it was. I think it was Art Cafe or
Westgate. I
something.
think
Whatever
it
the
was
case
Art
is.
Cafe in Westgate.
And all I remember was because I thought like it was gonna be like in the bag because at that time there were very few people offering talent management services. It's based on commission, so nobody's taking any money from you, so to speak. I feel like our track record at that time for the work we had done was relatively good. So I thought it was gonna be like in the bag. And then I remember having a conversation a couple of days later, and they're like, "Oh, no, like Over25 have gone a different direction." And then when we met last week to talk about this podcast, you said something really interesting that I think would be important to bring out with regard to the value and commercialization of what you guys were trying to do but didn't fully realize. So maybe the question I'll ask you first is, why did you not sign? If you can remember.
What I remember from
Yeah.
my perspective, I can't remember what we decided as a group.
Yeah.
I actually have no memory of that because
Yeah.
you guys came to us very early on.
Yeah.
I think we were only a year old or something. We were
Yeah.
babies in the space. And for me, I remember just thinking, I don't understand what this is.
Yeah.
Like you said, there were not many people doing this, da 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 da. So you can imagine you've just started a YouTube channel. YouTube channeling is relatively new in the industry.
Yeah.
And me and my girls have barely even started making money.
Yeah.
And then here are these people we don't know
Yeah.
who've popped out of the woodworks and said, hey, we want to manage you, but any money you get, we get 20%,
Yeah.
25, something like 25
Yeah.
or 30. It was,
Yeah.
And we're like, already we are 4 people.
Yeah.
Already,
Yeah.
so, and I remember just not understanding why the 4 of us couldn't do that, especially because we were already in the marketing space.
Yeah.
We already had access to a client base actively at the time.
Yeah.
And also as a group, I don't think we knew. I don't think we understood our value.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the foresight you guys had.
Yeah.
This stuff you guys were saying, and to me it just sounded like American fantasies and fallacies. I was like, this guy is talking to us as if we are in Hollywood. We are not in Hollywood, and we are not celebrities.
Yeah.
I just felt like not connected to that narrative.
Yeah.
And I believe it's because we did not know our worth, we did not know our value, and we did not know how big YouTube podcasting on YouTube was going to become.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody did. Maybe you guys did.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the concept of talent management.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you made it very clear to me last week, there's a difference between a manager and an agent, a sales agent.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in this country, they are merged together.
Yeah.
So we were trying to see, we were like, I think for me, it was a bit of, I don't know my value. I don't know who these people are. And I don't understand how this thing works. And then when you guys came with a contract, we had never even signed a contract at that point with anyone.
Yeah.
So that already me, I remember thinking, hey, we're going to be tied down here for life. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was just purely a thing of not understanding.
Yeah.
And looking back, I wish we took it on. I really wish we took it on because I think it would have now, you see all those things I'm telling you, that these red flags, like we didn't have clear structures in place.
Yeah.
I feel like being under management would have helped streamline
solidify
that.
some of those things. Okay. So if I was to ask you to estimate or guesstimate, well, first of all, do you think that Over25 made as much money as it could have?
Nope. No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
How much do you think you made over 7 years?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely in the millions.
Yeah.
But
Above 10?
I think they're around there.
Thereabout.
I think they're about.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. It was towards it was doing well.
Yeah.
But I think we would have made more.
Yeah.
And I feel that if you're doing group projects, demand more.
Yeah.
You can't be paid the same as somebody who is one person.
Yeah.
Especially if you're 4 people, you're giving 4 times the value because you're going to individually go and push those things on your individual pages.
Yeah.
And individually. So I feel as a group, we should have, we used to try and charge more, but clients were just not budging. And then also, this space is new. So brand managers, a lot of them are not understanding this digital thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, why are you coming to us, but you're still acting like, we don't have to give you this money.
Yeah.
It's like, then don't give us the money. Go do print, go do radio, go do TVC.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, yes, I think we should have made more money.
Yeah. Because it looked like it's averaging at about 1 point something a year. 1.5 a year, maybe 1 point.
No, it could have. There are times it was low. There are times it was high.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end. At the beginning we were not really making much.
Yeah.
But we made good money, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember even us just being given it was Desperados at the time.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna butcher these numbers because it's been so long.
Yeah.
Desperados was such a long time ago. I don't even think I was 30 years old yet when we did Desperados, but they gave us something like 1.2 or 1.6.
Yeah.
And they were telling us how they were about to pull that brand out of the market. They had no other marketing plan.
Yeah.
But one of the brand execs was like, let's really work with these girls.
Yeah.
And after that, they called us into their office like, we don't like blowing anyone's trumpet.
Yeah, but you guys.
but you guys have literally saved this brand.
Yeah.
And it was from that day that we stopped having other brands on set, because we used to drink as we
Yeah.
were shooting.
Yeah.
Drink wine, drink ciders, whatever. And we'd have the bottles there.
Yeah.
We were not, again, we didn't see.
Yeah.
We didn't see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope I've answered your question.
I mean, I think it has. I mean, well, I think there's a question. So I would estimate probably between 10 to 20 if I'm giving it a big range.
I would say
over
that over
the
7 years.
Yeah.
And there's times where we almost made nothing.
Yeah.
In because we'd take breaks from time to time. Again,
Yeah.
we didn't have a very clear strategic direction. There's
Yeah.
so many things I would do different if I was to go back to it.
Yeah.
The four of us were to get back together. Yeah.
And comparison, if I'm asking you, because you worked in sales when sales was sales, when sales execs in traditional media were making, millions.
Actually just missed that boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't there in the golden years.
Yeah.
Where people are going home with a meter, 2 meter. When I was there, it was just 1 or 2 people because they had the big clients.
Yeah.
You know, this chick has a Safaricom, this other person has EABL, this other person, and once somebody has their client, it's their client.
Yeah.
Sales is very cutthroat.
Yeah.
It is it's really cutthroat.
Yeah.
By the time I got there, it was much harder to make commissions.
Yeah.
And I remember even asking some of my colleagues, like, where are these commissions you people talk about?
Yeah.
Because mine were not. In fact, you see that
700.
80K that HR manager was telling me.
Yes.
My boss was earning that. But when I asked her how much are you earning, she's like, I don't even know, because I take home so much in commissions. And I know how much her commissions are because I could see the revenue every week.
Yeah.
We get the
revenues
that everyone is making, line item, and the target, and the structure, the payout structure, the commission structure. So I knew how much money she's taking home, even after tax.
Yeah.
And when I told her, now that I've moved from BTL to sales, you guys need to bump up my salary, and you keep giving me promotions. I was promoted like 3 times, but it's just my salary wasn't changing. So I asked her, "Kwani, how much do you earn?" Like, real talk. She's like, I think like 80 or 60. I don't even know, but me, I make commissions.
Yeah.
But she was the one of the few who would get money every month because
Yeah.
she had big clients, and she was so good at building relationships with clients and bringing in money.
Yeah.
My God, that woman could make money.
Yeah.
So I think I missed that boat. I really
Yeah.
had to grind hard to get that 9 million that one time, which was my best performing month.
Yeah.
It was much harder.
Yeah.
Media was now becoming very
Disrupted, as it were.
Yes. Traditional media was getting disrupted, and it was getting harder and harder to sell traditional media that does not have the numbers that digital media has. Yeah.
Okay. So, as we're wrapping up on this theme, I mean, there's at least, I know there's at least one video about the conflict that you and Ivy had that's up on YouTube. I know that when you guys hadn't done for a while, and then you shot, and then you're like, I think it's called We Had a Beef or something like that. And the general vibe, the general feeling is that Over25 broke up because there were 2 big personalities, namely you and her, and it just became too much. Of course, all of us are on the outside. We have no idea what's actually going in. I guess from where you sit, my question is, did it boil down to the 2 of you, ultimately?
No.
Yeah. There was a lot more.
There was a lot more going on. Remember, Lorna had just become a mom.
Yeah.
We were in different places in life.
Yeah.
And from my perspective, individual brands were just taking precedent over 25 as a brand.
Yeah.
So priorities were shifting.
Yeah.
Before, we had a saying inside the group that over 25 over anything else.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes to you and says, I have a gig, do you want to do it? First sell over 25, then sell yourself.
Yeah.
But then now that started changing.
Yeah.
Because people's individual financial obligations were also changing.
Yeah.
You understand? So we kind of started losing our north.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
And people's individual brands started changing and becoming different from the brand of Over25.
Yeah.
So you don't even know how to show up in Over25.
Yeah.
And that's what I talked about at the final video.
Yeah.
We didn't know who we were anymore
Yeah.
as a group.
Yeah.
I think if we were to ever get back together, and I'm always open and I'd love to.
Yeah.
I love Over25. That's it has always been my happy space and my safe space.
Yeah.
Now, because we are so clear on who we are, we would know who Over25 became its own.
Yeah.
A fifth member.
Yeah.
You understand? It was not just Julia, Shiko, Ivy, and it was Julia, Shiko, Ivy, Lorna, and then Over25, and the personality it had.
Yeah.
So it was an evolution. It was something that needed to happen.
Yeah.
Me and Ivy are two very strong personalities.
Yeah.
We are very passionate, but we always used to call each other we were each other's kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Because when there was something happening, every time there was something happening in Over25, she's the one person I could count on who could get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
It wasn't just me and her. I would have beef with Lord and beef with Shiko. You know, like it happens when you're working together.
Yeah.
You don't like somebody's doing something with a client. You don't think, whatever. But whenever I'd be like, yo, Ivy was actually the person I used to call.
Yeah.
And be like, what the
happening?
What the hell is happening?
Yeah.
Shouldn't we be prioritizing this? And she's like, yeah, So next time we're having our meeting on Thursday, make sure you say it like this.
Yeah.
I never used to have the balls to talk
and
say these things. And sometimes she would say things that I want to say. So that misconception, sometimes I feel like, should we have done that video? Because like it created this assumption that me and her are fighting for the limelight.
Yeah.
And I have no desire for the limelight, to be honest. I like it, but now that I've experienced it, it ain't it.
Yeah.
It ain't it. I'm telling you. I am telling you.
Yeah.
Me, it has to match with the bank account.
Yeah.
I'd rather have money than fame.
Yeah.
So I hope that has answered your question.
Yeah, it has.
It has. So that I feel like that and I know she's the one who really wanted to do that. Did we have beef video?
Yeah.
Eventually I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
And we did it, but then after this, like, bruh, are you understanding? Once this thing is out there, you can't control what it becomes. Yeah. And
so do you think that video then sort of set up the narrative for that people have now?
It did. I don't think I fully regret doing that video, but I think it created a narrative that was it was not the actual truth on the ground.
Yeah.
Yes. And yes, Ivy is a strong personality. And yes, I am a strong personality. But that is a woman I respect more than anything. I look up to her.
Yeah.
Her drive and tenacity is so unmatched.
Yeah.
She knows how to pick up on your goods. Like, she'll come and tell you're a creative. When I'm setting up an agency, an influencer marketing agency, you're the one who's going to do she tells me things that I don't even know about myself.
Yeah.
So I have nothing ill
Yeah.
to say about her. Did we butt heads? Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're two strong women in a group.
Yeah.
But we try to find a way to have a system of, like when we are getting heated, we used to say mango, So that's our cue for
it's now.
Now it's time to. You can't help it.
Yeah.
I'm passionate. She is passionate, and I'm also sensitive as, know. So she might say something. I'm like, why did you say it like that? She's like, why are you so sensitive? You know what I mean? But it's not that now it means we can't work together.
Yeah.
It just means we have to find a different way to dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, friends, all of you still?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it immediate after you guys like finished and ended Over25, so to speak? Were you just still like, we're just friends, we're just chilling?
We're still friends. We've been friends since Form 1, high school. Those are my girls from high school.
Yeah.
And then we were in uni together.
Yeah.
And then we have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So we're still friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't meet every week like we used to.
Yeah.
But we're still friends.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
That's still my core circle.